Okay, welcome back, Geoff Coughlin, Scale Modelling Now, and the All-Clad Gloss Black base is on and dry, so all I've done is left this pretty much 24 hours and come back to it, so it's all nice and dry. So we're nearly good to go with the next stage of the process, which is to start laying down some of the silver to get the natural metal finish. But there's an important process that you need to go through just simply before you do that, and that is to micromesh the surface. So what's micromesh, first of all? I mean, there is stuff in your techniques bank about this, so do check that out. But essentially what these micromesh cloths are very smooth, apparently very smooth, and graduated in grades, polishing and finishing cloths. You can buy them in little packets. I don't know. There are multiple places you can buy this stuff from. I'm pretty sure I bought mine from, ours from Albion Alloys. They're worth contacting. Hannants, I'm sure, probably do them as well. But there are different outlets that you can get this stuff from. And usually they come in a pack of different grades. And this is 12,000, which is the smoothest, which I'm about to use on the black. And you usually get a little sponge block that you can also use to wrap around your micromesh and then work it into the surface. And I generally tend to do that. So why are we using it? Well, we're using it because when you look at the surface, I don't know whether you can pick this up on the camera there, but if I gently just tip that in and across the light, there are very, very tiny little hairs and little pieces of fleck that for various reasons have got onto the surface whilst it was drying. Normally not a big deal, but it's enough to ruin the silver finish in my opinion. So all you do with this stuff, and it's not to worry, and not to worry if you remove some of the black when you do it, but the whole idea for me is to use the 12,000 grade, which is the smoothest, to minimise that, is you just literally work the surface of the black, and what that does is just takes away those little flecks of hair, as well as polishing the surface even more. Some are a bit more stubborn than others, but there we go. It's just about coming now. So you can work surfaces that you want to have a higher shine a bit more, because the shinier the black is, and you can see there, I think you can see that, that's really very, very smooth, very shiny. When that takes the silver, it's going to have a more reflective quality and be even more natural metal, more reflective in that regard. So you can make a decision where and how much you want to work the surface on this. So matter areas or areas that you want less reflective, just simply work them less. But it's useful to generally take your time and go over the surface just so that you can remove any of these little dust particles, little flecks that you get. Generally I try and work with the airflow because it all generally will just help the overall effect. If you start having streaking marks contra to the airflow, that's going to look probably a little bit unrealistic and a bit daft later on. But there we go, you get the idea, and I don't want to bore you and put you through hours of watching that, but there we go, just the outer wing panel is done, and you can see just how smooth and shiny that is. So I'll just carry on, work the rest of the surface, then we'll come back and start to look at the silver. I think one of the things that is apparent, and you should be able to see that quite readily, is just those fine rivet lines are coming out on the finish, which is already nice, because I know that's going to come out through the silver finish. So that riveting that we did earlier on in the process really seems to have paid off. So I'll get on with that, and we'll come back and you can follow us up again soon.